What's happening, guys? It's Jeremy Blanton with RE/MAX Southern Shores, and today we're going to discuss why haven't housing prices here in the Myrtle Beach area dropped? Everybody keeps hearing on the news that a housing crash is imminent, that we're about to see prices drop. Interest rates have gone through the roof, so housing prices have to be crashing. We have to be seeing foreclosures coming soon and short sales and just the market crashing like it did back in 2008. In fact, the other day I got this comment on one of my videos, and to make sure I get it right, I actually printed it out here and I'm gonna read it to you. And we're gonna put it up here on the screen so you guys can read along with me. You might want to make another video explaining how the market is ready to crash and now would be the time to start looking. Also, another idea would be how to purchase a home at an auction. I think these would make great subject matter for your content. First off, thanks to the commenter for leaving it. I love when people leave comments on my videos and give them thumbs up and all that. And so do me a favor, do that on all my videos. It really makes me happy and I love to engage back and forth with you. But here's the thing about that comment. I really don't think it's true. I don't see a crash coming. I've been in this business now since 2001, so I was in it when things went crazy, 2005, 6, 7, where people were walking in the door with a piece of paper saying, I want to buy this. And we would literally just walk into a conference room, sit down and write it up with me never even showing the property to them. A lot of times them not even walking in it, but they knew if they wanted to purchase that home, they had to jump on it right this second. So I was through all of that. We did an awesome business during that time. My father and I worked together as a team. We sold 137 houses the one year. Then the next year, everything crashed. The market, the bottom just dropped out and everything went from selling quick to not selling at all. We went from doing 137 transactions to 13 the next year. So I know what a housing crash is like. I know what it's like to watch the market just completely implode on itself and go to rubble. I've seen it in the past, but I really don't think we're gonna see that here. And here I'm gonna share with you a few reasons why I don't feel a housing crash and prices going down is gonna happen here in the Myrtle Beach area anytime soon. So the first reason why I don't see this crash happening anytime soon is that we have an incredibly strong demand for properties here in the Myrtle Beach area. We still are gonna have our beautiful, gorgeous beaches, 65 miles up and down the coast that you can go and enjoy. We're gonna continue to have the amazing weather with the very mild winters and beautiful springs and falls that people absolutely love and what attracts them to come down to the area. We're gonna continue to have tons of things to do, places to go eat, to shop, restaurants to visit, and shows to see, and so many different things to do that people aren't gonna need to worry about what am I gonna do each day. And they can have those things to take care of and keep them entertained and make their day-to-day living much easier. And so as long as we have those things, plus the incredibly low cost of living here in comparison to other states around the country, people are gonna continue to want to move here. So that demand remains high here in the Myrtle Beach area, and it's gonna continue to stay that way for the foreseeable future. And as long as we have a high demand, people aren't going to see prices go from here down. They're just not gonna happen. If people are still coming and buy it, why do I need to reduce my home? Now, what has happened is those that were putting homes on the market in the past, and I would go on a listing appointment and say, hey, let's list your home at $400,000. And Mr. Seller says, well, Jeremy, I wanna list at $450,000. And I would say, okay, we'll try it and see what happens. Well, lo and behold, we would sometimes be that squirrel that found a nut and it would sell at $450. And we would get lucky that it would be a cash buyer with no contingencies, as is, not doing an appraisal, and they were able to get it closed. Well, those days have stopped. People aren't coming and doing those types of things anymore. We're not seeing multiple bids come in on everything, every day like we used to. I had a condo that I listed for sale during the hype of the market when things were absolutely nuts. I put that home on the market, and within a matter of hours, I had offers coming in. Less than 24 hours after having it on the market, I had 11 offers to share with my seller. Those types of things aren't happening anymore. Now, if it's a unique property that's priced properly and it's very good condition, then it's still going to see offers come quickly. You still might see multiple offer situations on those, but overall things have slowed a little bit. But are prices gonna go down right now? No, demand's gonna remain strong. And as long as that happens, that's not gonna affect our prices. The second reason why I don't see the market prices coming down anytime soon is that we still have a very limited supply of property. Now, back a year and a half ago, it was at its lowest point I've ever seen. It was down at 1 month's inventory of supply. What the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors says is that in order to have a balanced market, an inventory needs to be around 6 months supply of homes. Right now here in the Myrtle Beach area, we're still only at about 3 months. Back at the beginning of the pandemic, that number was up at 5. So it has gone way, way down. It has come up a little bit, but it's still a far way away from where it needs to be. And with demand remaining high, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, that number isn't creeping back up quite as fast as people thought. Now, a lot of people would say, well, Jeremy, what about interest rates? They're making homes not sell as fast and people aren't as many able to buy right now because it costs more. That is true, but a lot of people are right now buying properties that have special incentives. So for example, right now, interest rates today, here we are in the middle of July, are right around the mid 7s, okay? But if you go and purchase a brand new construction with some of your larger builders like D.R. Horton or Pulte or Lennar, their interest rates are about 5.75 if you have good credit. So that's a huge savings that you can make on that home. So when you have those types of incentives out there, plus they're throwing maybe $7,000, $10,000 towards your closing costs, when you add all that stuff together, it makes it a pretty good value to still buy a home, even if you have to take that mortgage. So as long as those incentives are there, as long as inventory stays as low it is, I don't see the prices going up anytime soon. The third reason why I don't see prices changing anytime soon and dropping way down is that Myrtle Beach is not only a market where people are moving for their primary residence or for their retirement home, but there is also a ton of property that is sold in our area that is to investors. People who are looking for that property for down the road. I have a client right now, he's buying a home here from California. He's never actually owned a property for himself, but he is purchasing a home here in South Carolina now. Why is that? Because he believes in the next few years, he's going to retire out in California and then move over here and make this his primary residence. But he wants to get the home at prices down because, as I mentioned, I don't see them going down anytime soon. And he's securing the home right now. He's going to have a tenant who moves in there for the next few years, pays the rent every month and basically covers his expenses. And he will then have the home with a good amount of equity for when he decides to actually make the move from California here to South Carolina, probably in the next 3 to 4 years. We also have a huge number of people who are purchasing the oceanfront short-term rental investments. One of the largest areas where people are buying property here is from North Carolina. So people who live up in Charlotte or Raleigh area, it's a 3 to 4 hour drive. They're buying the beach home down here or the one on the waterway, and they're coming down a couple times a year, using the property for a week or two at a time. They're saving tons of money because they're not having to put out that big amount of money for a rental. And then when they're not here, it's put on a rental program that's taking care of all of its expenses. So they have to put in that initial investment of a good amount of money down, but then they have it saved for the future when they go to sell in equity, and they have a place to stay whenever they want to come down to the beach. So as long as those two factors stay there with the investment market, we're going to continue to see prices stay strong here in Myrtle Beach. The fourth reason why I don't see the prices coming down here anytime soon is because our demand stays up. And why is that demand staying up? Well, it's because the lower cost of living. Living in South Carolina, as I've shared many times on this channel, is so much cheaper than other parts of the country. Homes here cost a fraction of what they do in other states and even just here in South Carolina. The same home that you could purchase here for maybe $350,000, you go down to Charleston and try to buy it and it's probably $550 to $650. You go down to Hilton Head and that home's going to go up to $600,000 to $700,000. I saw a friend of mine just share today on Facebook that she was one of the top sales associates in her company for last month. She sold 4 homes. The average price point of her 4 homes were $768,000. So what does that tell you about living down in Hilton Head? It's much more expensive. So when you look at those things, cost of living for the property is much less. Also your property taxes and just everything in this area. Gas, food, groceries, restaurants, whatever, are significantly less. You know, I've shared in the past about one of my clients from New Jersey who, whenever she comes down on vacation here to her vacation property, she has to make a stop by Costco or by Total Wine and More, and she just loads the entire trunk up with liquor. Why? Well, she likes her vodka. But why does she do that? It's about half the cost here for a bottle of vodka as what it would be up in New Jersey. So just everything as a whole is significantly less. So as long as that happens, people are going to continue to want to move to the area, and it's going to continue to keep those housing prices up higher. And the fifth and final reason why I don't see prices going down in the Myrtle Beach area anytime soon is that our economy here is just extremely strong right now. Commercial businesses are continuing to move into the Myrtle Beach area each and every day. If you go down to the Strip and you go up and down where all the oceanfront hotels are, they are packed to full capacity most weekends this time of year. And I've seen it basically since spring break on till now, that every weekend the condos in these houses down at the beach are rented out. People are coming here on vacation. They're going out, they're shopping, they're going to Topgolf, they're going to the shows, they're going and doing everything and spending all types of money here in the area. And that is helping to keep our economy strong here. So what does that do? That helps the locals who live here to continue to want to step out, purchase that home, get that equity started in their lives and build wealth. And so as long as we continue to have that strong economy taking place here, that's also going to be a fifth factor as to why prices on homes are not going to drop anytime soon. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video where we discussed some of the reasons why I don't see the housing market crashing anytime soon, why I don't see prices going down, and why you haven't seen them. And hopefully you guys found value in it. If you did, as always, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up, get that bell on, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.